Let's make an ass out of you and me by making the bold assumption that there's a hell of a lot of you out there that don't like to mod your Nerf blasters for a variety of good reasons, like you don't want to mess up your blaster, or you can't afford it, or you just don't have the technical skill to do so. All very good reasons, and because of that, there's a lot of third parties out there that will make all sorts of goodies for you. Everything from holsters to spring upgrades that you can just slap in there to a complete internals replacement. They're pretty good about that, and Worker is no exception. They've been making a lot of cool stuff, from pump action grips to all sorts of realistic tactical milsim attachments you can put on your blasters, and they even made their own kind of 15-round banana mags, which are not Hasbro but look like Hasbro. It's pretty impressive. But they have done something that is pretty interesting, for this is a mod that will get you a huge performance boost and does not require you to open up your blaster in any way. It's quite astonishing, really. And of course, today we are talking about the Mega to Elite conversion barrels? Inserts? I guess you'd call them inserts, because that's what you do with them. Literally, you put this thing in your blaster, and it makes it go from shooting a Mega Dart to shooting a standard Elite Dart. Now, you gotta keep in mind, with blasters like the good old Rotofury here, there's a lot of spring and a lot of plunger back here because it's meant to shoot a very large dart. Very, very big. But suddenly, you divert all that power into something that is far smaller, and some crazy crap happens, man. And, well, we're gonna test out just that. But, first things first, I have to give out a warning, because a little story, I was not planning on buying a Rotofury at all. Not only does it have a kind of dumb name in my opinion, but I really just didn't like it. I see the use. It's a pump action 10-round Mega Dart launch. It's like the only Mega Dart primary that is serviceable. I mean, the Thunderbow isn't that bad. The Centurion is pretty much likes to shred darts. But this thing, they couldn't possibly screw up this thing, and they didn't. It's a pretty good blaster. But I really like the Cyclone Shock a lot more, so I still bought the 10-pack. There's a 1-pack, a 6-pack, and a 10-pack. I bought the 10-pack thinking, hey, I could put 1 in the Big Shock, 6 in the Cyclone Shock, and I have a couple left over to mess around with. Boy, was I mistaken. Because these are made for each individual blaster. Allow me to demonstrate. Here is the Big Shock. Yeah, not exactly working, which is a major disappointment. And I didn't realize this until like a week after I bought them, and I went to the website where the eBay listing where I found them and was like, oh, I'm going to check to see if they're here yet. And noticed there's 3 different sizes. Again, it was all in Chinese, but I inferred that, oh crap, I bought the kind for the Rotofury. Oh dear God, help me. So I had to go out and buy said Rotofury. Now, will this upgrade, this drop-in barrel insertion, make my purchase a little bit wiser? The results may surprise you, or may not, depending on how cynical I am. Installing these things is relatively easy. Most important part is, you get your barrel inserts, and you get this thing. Now, in the front of the barrel, if you notice, there's a dart right here, and an arrow, and that is because this is the front. I don't know if it's easy to put these in backwards. I don't want to find out, because if there is a way to put these in backwards and you put one in backwards, you are screwed. I will show you exactly how screwed you are by how hard it is to pull these out. Looking at the design, it may be next to impossible. It looks like it won't be able to slot in there very far, so you can just pull it back out, but we'll get to that. But the front here is threaded, and this goes in there, threads in there, so you could pull it right out of your blaster, so it is completely removable. There's no evidence of if leaving these things in your barrels deforms them and makes it worse for shooting Mega Darts. I don't really have any concrete evidence for that, but hey, it's still kind of cool, and they're dead simple to install. Allow me to demonstrate. Oh god, and the worst part is, it goes down even more. I don't know how far that will go down in, but it goes down pretty damn far. But of course, now, let's put a Mega Dart right there, a Mega Dart right there, and an Elite Dart in there. And that's pretty damn spiffy. Could it have been a little bit longer? Maybe get a little bit more barrel? Possibly. But hey, we've got a normal elite dart in our Rotofury. So we're going to prime that bish. And we're going to dry fire it. We're going to prime it again. We're going to tilt up the camera. And we are going to fire. So that was an elite dart, or mega dart. That was an elite dart. So, I know I don't have, like, you know, a chronograph or anything like that. And the keen of you will say, like, oh, you don't have a chronograph, I can't trust your readings. That's totally up to you. I have quite a bit of experience with a large variety of blasters and varying power levels. And I can tell you that these darts, once you put these in there, they are hitting ridiculously hard. And I know I say that for a lot of things, but these are hitting probably about as hard as my Orange Mod Works Elite Alpha Trooper. And it's way easier to prime, it's way faster to prime, and it required absolutely no effort and no dicking around with a variety of things to try to figure out some kind of fruitless way of making the catch spring work. Now, I demonstrated one of my favorite parts about this already, besides the fact that you can literally just drop it in there and you get an insane blaster. But you can mix and match your ammo. So it's kind of funny that you could be shooting mega darts and elite darts at the same time. And that's really going to screw with people. Because they're going to be looking for the big red ones, and all of a sudden they're going to be hit by something like this rocketing towards them at some insane velocity. And that just gives me the giggles. But now we have to try to remove that, because again, this is reversible. And I will slowly demonstrate just how much of a feat this is. I don't consider myself strong upper body strength at all. And, well, I'm actually worried about breaking the threads. If I break this thing, I don't even know what I would do. I'd have to buy another kit and wait another 2 weeks for it to show up. But you thread it in there, and then you've got this red lanyard here. I'm going to kind of wrap that around my fingers. And you're going to frickin' pull. And you're going to pull that out. And you got to do that for every single one of them. So, they are completely removable. And they're reasonably priced, I would say. A 10-pack of these, I believe the one for the Big Shock is like $8, which sucks, because that's the price of a Big Shock. The Cyclone Shock ones, I think, are more reasonable, around like 16, and then you've got the Rotofury ones, which were 22, I believe, which is, you count the $30 for a Rotofury, the 22 or $23 for these, and having to wait 2 weeks, and you got yourself a pretty cool blaster, because there ain't a whole lot of these, rotating drummed primary that shoot standard darts. I'm probably just drawing a blank, but I can't think of any besides like the Busby Sidewinder, which just got a non-sucky release with a 72-foot range claims. But other than that, I'm not really thinking of, like, you have the that stupid dart tag blaster that everybody has 2 or 3 of that nobody likes. And they remade it in that G.I. Joe thing. I'm trying to remember. I can never remember the name of that thing. I'll put it on the screen. But, yeah, there's not too many of these spring rotating things. There's a lot of flywheel ones, but not so many in the realm of springers. And these rotating drums are really useful because you can scavenge easily with them. I would give the Rotofury a big, mark down for the fact that you can't effortlessly rotate this thing. You have to do this disgusting click that I hate. It makes me feel like I'm going to break something. I don't know if there's an easy way. Maybe if I prime it? Nope. There's literally no way of making that easier on yourself. But I'm not here to bitch about the Rotofury. I'm here to answer the question, is it worth buying a Rotofury and a 10-pack of these things? And, well, I'm going to demonstrate that by socketing in a few of these. Alrighty, we've successfully converted this to an Elite Blaster, and now alrighty, we've got it loaded up with our 10 Elite Darts pointed back up at the wall here, and to give this a total pass. If you happen to fall into that realm of people who don't like permanently modifying your blasters, just don't have the time or patience, or maybe you just don't want to risk ruining anything, again, $30 for a Rotofury, $22 for these things shipped. You can find them on eBay. It's a pretty good buy. You're going to get super stock performance out of these for basically no effort. Can you mod it and make it a little bit better? Totally. Removing dart posts and stuff like that will give you probably some range claims. I know Bobo did a review on the Cyclone Shock ones, and yeah, he found that removing the dart post and the Cyclone Shock gave him a better, you know, FPS reading out of them by about 6, I think was his average. Which is all well and good, but there's no telling if that's actually going to translate over to the Rotofury kit or not. And I'm a little upset that I don't have the Big Shock kit in order to test that, because I'm very much interested in how well the Big Shock compares to a standard Jolt. Sure, I could just rebarrel it, but that's a little too easy, isn't it? Let's pull one of these out. It's... Oh my... God! Oh! Be warned, these things are insane to try to remove. Yeah, it's reversible, but Jiminy Christmas.